Okay, folks, what's going on? So let's talk about another one of my modern fundamentals. So we talked about engaging the glutes. Before you finish, do me a favor. Smash that daggone subscribe. That is very, very important. It keeps us getting content coming. I got over 900 videos out there that you can just click on anytime you want. Just go to the playlist. And the reason I do that is because my goal is to actually help clients. Now, granted, sometimes I'll give you all the nuts and bolts, and then sometimes I will not. And the reason why I will not is because I actually got clients that actually pay me to do this for a living. So I don't give you everything that a paying client, because that wouldn't be fair to them. So I may just touch on a little bit of it, okay? All right, so let's talk about another, what I would consider a fundamental in golf. And what I call fundamentals now is what the majority of the players do. If we get into the percentile of 85 to 95% that players are doing it, then for me, that is a fundamental. And engaging the glutes, all the players are engaging their glutes. Okay, here's another one. More pressure on the target side. Okay, so force plate technology, when it came out, it had the ability to track what people were doing with their pressure. Center of pressure and center of mass, okay? So what I like to say, weight is what you see, pressure is what you feel. Well, they studied all the top pros, all the way down to even the Korn Ferry Tour, LPGA Tour. I mean, all the tours across the world, you know what I'm saying? The Asian Tour, DP Tour, and guess what? All the players had more pressure on their target side, regardless if they was left hand or right hand, than they had on their trail side. There were only two players that had 50-50 split or more pressure on the trail side. Gary Woodland was one of them, and I really can't think about the other one. So when we see those type numbers, where you see 99.999% of all players, male, female, wide, skinny, tall, doing the same thing, then that is considered a fundamental. All right. So what I like to feel in the premium setup, we've been talking about this for a long time now. I piston pivot, I anchor my weight. When I first started teaching the premium setup, I would have a client anchor the weight, and I would have them put the club on the front of their foot, target side foot, and I would have that, tell them touch that knee to that shaft. And then that was the extreme. That is an extreme as we want to go. I like to visualize it by saying, think about Calvin Peete. Calvin Peete plays golf going downhill, correct? He led the tour in driving accuracy for 10 years in a row. Pipeline, the original pipeline, the smoking fairways, right? So pressure. If all the players out there have more pressure on the target side, why are we still trying to play the 50-50 split when all the best players in the world have more pressure on the target side? So for me, that is a modern fundamental. All right. So I like to say knees over toe. So I like to feel on my downswing, getting that knee over toe, knee over toe. But I actually set up with more pressure on the target side. Right here, boom, I'm on the target side. Go. And you have to practice these fundamentals, okay? They're not just gonna come for you. It's not gonna be something like, hey, he said put more pressure on the target side, and then you just go do it. You actually have to pressure it. You know my goal, I like to practice when you're trying to learn, get a 58, a 56, or a 52, and hit really short shots, 30, 40, 50-yard shots, focusing on that one thing, one focus, one goal. So more pressure on the target side. I'm already there. Okay, so here's a tip I'm going to give you when we're trying to do this. If you're playing golf and your direction is off, 99% of the time is directly related to your shoulders. If your ball strike is off, 99% of the time it's directly related to your pressure. So if you always hitting fat shots, get more pressure on the target side. You can go all the way up. I'm gonna go to the extreme. I'm gonna go to 70%. I'm 70% on my target side. Ball hopped off the face. 9-iron, about 145. Right? Here we go again. I'm gonna go to the extreme, and I always say go to the extreme in order to flush out a flaw. Hit some shots with the extreme. See where you can go. Here, about 70% over here on my target side. Right? And this is how you're gonna implement this into your golf swing. Go to the extreme. I'm gonna hit one more with the extreme. Boom. I'm way over here on my target side. That's a golf shot right there, buddy. There we go. So this is another, what I call a true fundamental of the golf swing. And again, these are only going to be what the best players in the world are doing across the board, regardless of what tour they're on, regardless if it's LPGA, Epson Tour, DP Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, PGA, Asian Tour. These are what all these great ball strikers are doing. So there you go. Let's get more pressure on that target side. Let's build this in with a 56, 58, 52 wedge, pitching wedge. And let's start off with small shots, and then let's go to the extreme on some shots. Get 65, 70% on the target side, and you're gonna see you're not hitting no fat shots no more, okay? And then back it off to where you're comfortable. I play with about 55. About 3 years ago, I was probably up to 60, 65 on the target side. Now, when I put myself on the body track and swing catalyst, I'm about 55, 58% of my pressure is already on my target side at address, ready and primed to go. Keep grinding, take care. Remember, the journey does require work. Again, these fundamentals are what all great ball strikers are doing. Peace.